I'm Dan Galusha and welcome to another edition of Shoot and Plink. Hey, today we're going to be trying out some ammunition just for the heck of it to see what it'll do. They're both CCIs. This one is a CCI, that's a tongue twister, CCI CB 22 long, not a long rifle. This is a 22 Quiet LR, the 22 LR. So they're both the same velocity, 710. What I want to do is see, is one quieter than the other? I don't know if this CB will actually be quieter than the Quiet or not. One thing is, you got to figure this, the velocity is going to be the same because this one has got a 29 grain bullet, the long has, where this one has a 40 grain bullet. We're going to be testing two things. One is how loud it is. The other is, will it knock some of the plinking bottles over? And that I'll set up later. You can see the other target's set up right up there. And I'm going to zoom you in on it, and then I'm going to shoot right beside you here, which is, well, it's about 15 yards, because the other's up, the 10 yards up this way. And so I'm going to be just kind of behind you so you can hear the difference. First round I'll fire is the 22 LR, the Quiet. And the next will be the CB, the 22 long. So I'm going to zoom in, and then I'm not worried about hitting that target as much as I am just seeing how it sounds. And we might have to fire the rounds a couple of times. I've already got it loaded. I'm going to lay those down right there. And what am I going to use to do it? Well, my old trusty Henry Frontier, the one with the Skinner Peep Sight, the one that started shooting Plink. I'd always shot some other guns, but when I got this Henry, that started the idea of shooting Plink. And we've talked about that before. So, what do you say? I'm going to zoom you in up there, because then we're going to put up the bottles afterwards and then actually load this thing up a little bit more. And we'll see if we can hear the difference. If we can't, might have to fire it again. So, let's try it. We'll see. In fact, I'm not even going to zoom you in right now. You don't need to. Okay, I just racked in the round. This is the 22, and I'm going to get rid of my mittens here. It is cold. So we'll fire the regular 22 Quiet first. Okay. To me, they sounded no different. They just sounded, the same. So what we're going to do now is we're going to see if there's a difference in firing that 29 grain bullet and the 40 grain bullet with the same velocity of 710. Will it knock those bottles over? Before, yeah, we had a little bit of a problem, but I could see that the accuracy on these is pretty good. But before I'm going to do that, I'm going to change glasses. I got the wrong glasses on and I couldn't even see my front sight hardly. But still good enough that I hit right in the middle because that thing flapped. So let me get loaded up, put those bottles around, zoom you in, and we'll get it all ready. Alright, you can see the bottles, and we're going to try it up here first at about 15 yards. And I've got it all loaded with the 29 grain bullet ones. And we'll see what happens there. I'm going to pick up my brass right then and threw that last round out that we shot before. So, we'll start on the left and we'll move down. Then what I might do is if we knock them over here, I'll move back a little bit further, so I won't knock them all over with these rounds. I've only got 5 rounds loaded in here, so hopefully I'll hit them. Well, it didn't even go over in here. Try the next one. Well, that one I got. I guess you got to set them a little bit further back or something. It didn't there either. Well, I don't want to use up all my rounds up here. Go down on the right side. I must have hit low or something. Let's see now, right in the middle. Now I'm going to go to the one that's just left of that one all the way to the right. That turned it a bit. Why don't we go back? It hasn't done too good right here, but I'm going to go back and see what it will do a little bit further back. Well, it went all the way back to 25 yards, and it knocked them over. Maybe because I'd hit them before and I pushed them over a little bit further. Just for the heck of it, let's set them up and we'll try again. But this time I think what we'll do is we'll put in some of those 40 greens, see if it knocks them over a little easier. See how cold it is. I can't even hardly get that magazine tube to lock in. So now we've got some 40 grains here. We'll just see, and I did not put them back any further to make it easier on these. I put them right up halfway on that 4x4, and we're going to shoot up here first again like I did before. And I took that one right off, and that was set clear up there. And we'll try another one from here. Try to get that middle one. Yeah, it's hitting it a lot harder. In fact, it almost sounds a little louder now. So I'm going to go back further, like I did with the other one. And we'll see what we do back there. Okay, that was 5 shots. I went back 25 yards and popped those off, and we're going to try that again with the 29 grain bullet. And I really do think there's a difference there, and maybe we can even see on the sound again. Alright, we'll do the same thing we did before. Hands are even getting colder, and we'll see from here. But I kind of think there's a difference between this long and this LR. By golly, that one knocked it off. That one did too, and I've set these up the same way, not giving them any advantage. Now I'm going to head back to that 25 yard mark. Okay, they got knocked over 25 yards. That was a 29 grain bullet, but I don't know if you've noticed or not, but I really think that that 22 long with the 29 grain bullet is just a wee bit quieter than that 22 quiet. Now, to me it sounds like, especially when I was back there shooting at 25 yards with this last time, there just was, I know there was a difference, and even you could tell by the impact. The impact when it hit that from 25 yards, it was, especially you noticed on that last bottle, it was like, yeah, okay, and then it went on over. I really think that there's just a little bit more punch, a little more loudness with the 22 quiet. So that means both of these would be absolutely great for quiet shooting, like what I've done. And this Henry, of course, fires them all, because it'll fire shorts too. You put a 22 short CB in here, and it's not much noise to that thing, that's for sure. But a regular 22, though, that gets a little bit louder. But as far as the two of them goes, I'd say they're great. If you want something, I think, though, with just a little bit more of an impact, especially from a longer distance, then you might want to go with the 22 quiet. But whichever one's available, you know, these days you never know what's going to be available anyway. So I'd say whichever is available, get it. I mean, I was able to get these 22 longs, and that's one reason I did it. And I thought, okay, I'm going to show everybody what it is. You and I were experimenting with this at the same time. I had not fired them in advance. I had no idea what they were going to do, or how loud they were going to be, or anything, because I've never used those before. Maybe a long time ago when I shot with my dad, but and I don't think we shot them then, because Dad always shot shorts. He always used shorts, especially for target. He hunted with shorts, so you know, that's what we shot. And that's why when I originally opened up Cedar Oaks, the first round that was fired was a 22 short. But, you know, like I said, 22 long or 22 quiet, about equal. I'd say get either one of them. They're both great. I mean, if you want some quiet shooting, especially like this, plinking and target shooting, such as shoot and plink is, it's perfect. And in this Henry Frontier, and that, I can't say enough for that Skinner Peep Sight. And that, by the way, is the rail mount. And I was in touch with Andy out there at Skinner, and Andy Larson's the one that puts these out. He's the president of Skinner, owns the company, and he said the rail mounts are selling so good he don't have them in. I mean, they're just they're way behind in manufacturing on them. So they are very nice, especially for a Henry rifle like this, because you've got, as you know, you've got this rail mount on these, and so you have this here. Now the front sight, and I know this wasn't for Skinner sights on this, but I want to bring this up anyway. You might have to change out the front sight when you put this here. Just get a whole Henry. You can get a little bit taller sight, and that sometimes is needed. In fact, I think with this one I had to do that. Can't remember. I know I'd put it on another rifle besides and tried that when I was doing a test and evaluation on a Browning BL-22, the micro. I think I had to, maybe I didn't. I don't know. Anyway, I do think I had to do it to this one. So that's something you want to keep in mind. But that sight, that Skinner sight, is just absolutely great. And as you can see what it did. Yeah, the first time there when we ran those through with those, I wasn't too sure about those 22 longs, but then afterwards, no, I'd say they're just about equal. But I would say that I think that 22 LR, that is the quiet one, is a little bit louder than the 22 long CB. So until next time, shoot safe and have a great day of plinking.